Have you ever felt the weight of a secret too powerful to share? A force so dark, yet so magnetic, it pulls at your very soul? In a world where magic is very, very real, there are women who wield the dark arts, enchanting all who cross their path. But what if that magic comes with a price? One that even the most powerful sorceress struggles to pay. Tonight, I invite you to step into the world of a woman whose charm could captivate even the strongest hearts, but whose magic hides a deeper, darker truth. In a small, forgotten village nestled between towering mountains, there lived a woman named Isolde, but she wasn't like the others. The villagers often whispered her name in a mixture of fear and awe, for she was known as the Black Magic Woman. With midnight black hair that cascaded like a river of shadows and eyes that sparkled like stars in the darkest of nights, she possessed an aura of power that no one could quite resist. But Isolde wasn't always this way. Once she was a simple healer, a beloved member of the community, helping the villagers with their ailments and offering comfort to the weary. Yet, something shifted within her heart. An emptiness began to grow, a void that couldn't be filled with herbs or kind words. She sought something more, something powerful enough to make her feel whole. One fateful evening, as twilight painted the sky in shades of purple and orange, a mysterious traveler arrived at her door. Cloaked in midnight blue, his voice was like a soft whisper carried on the wind. "You seek power," he said, his words seeming to read her deepest desires, "and I can give it to you." The offer was tempting, a siren's call to her restless soul. "But at what cost?" Isolde asked, the hesitation in her voice barely audible. The traveler smiled, his teeth glinting in the pale moonlight. "The cost is your soul," he answered matter-of-factly, "but in return you will command the shadows, bend them to your will, and make all who oppose you fall before your power." Isolde stood at the threshold, torn between the allure of her desires and the grip of her fear. "What will I become?" she whispered, her voice trembling slightly. "A queen of darkness," he replied, his voice seductive, almost coaxing. "A master of the dark arts." And without a second thought, without a moment's hesitation, Isolde stepped across the line that would change her life forever. She accepted the gift, the curse, and felt an exhilarating surge of power course through her veins. From that moment on, her magic grew stronger, darker, more irresistible than she could have ever imagined. But with that immense power came an equally immense isolation. The villagers who were once her friends now feared her. They whispered about the strange happenings that seemed to follow her. Animals disappearing without a trace, healthy crops withering in the fields, and a strange haunting melody that echoed through the village late at night. One night, a desperate young boy, his heart heavy with worry for his sick sister, ventured to her door. He had heard the fearful whispers about her powers, but his love for his sister was stronger than his fear. "I beg you, Isolde," he said, his small voice trembling, "save my sister. She is all I have left." For a moment, Isolde's heart twisted. She saw the raw innocence in his eyes, the same innocence she had once possessed. A part of her, a long-forgotten part, wanted to help, but the darkness that now consumed her whispered in her mind, "You cannot. You must not." But something inside her rebelled against that cold command. Throwing caution to the wind, she opened the door wider, letting him in. "I will help you," she said, her voice sounding cold but steady, betraying none of the turmoil within. She gathered her magic, drawing power from the deepest shadows, her hands beginning to glow with an eerie, otherworldly light. As she worked, she saw flashes of her former self, the healer, the kind woman who once cared for others with a gentle touch. For the first time in years, she felt a flicker of hope, a spark of the person she used to be. But then the magic surged too quickly, too violently. The shadows around her grew wild, lashing out, wrapping around her body and tightening with an almost suffocating grip. She tried to control them, to bend them back to her will, but the power was too much. It was no longer hers to command. It commanded her. In that terrifying moment, she finally, truly understood the price she had paid. The magic had claimed her, and in the process, it had stolen her very humanity. The boy, horrified by the monstrous display he was witnessing, fled into the night, leaving her utterly alone in the crushing dark. Isolde, broken and defeated, fell to her knees as the shadows swirled around her, whispering their final, chilling verdict. You wanted power, and now you have it. But at what cost? Isolde's story serves as a profound cautionary tale. It's a story about the dangers of seeking power at any cost, about the seductive whisper of ambition that can lead us down a dark path. It teaches us that sometimes the very thing we crave the most can be the thing that ultimately destroys us. Magic, like ambition, can be beautiful and alluring, but if we lose ourselves in the pursuit of it, we may find that what we thought we wanted wasn't worth the price. The lesson here is simple, yet so often forgotten. We must always be careful what we wish for. Power, success, and control are tempting, but they almost always come with sacrifices. And sometimes, those sacrifices can change us in ways we never imagined, leaving us unrecognizable even to ourselves. So today, I want you to take a moment. Take a moment to reflect on what truly matters to you. Is there something you are seeking, some goal you're chasing, that could come at a hidden cost? Perhaps it's time to ask yourself, what are you willing to give up to achieve it? Before you chase after something that promises power or glory, remember Isolde's story. Remember that true strength lies not in magic or control, but in staying true to who you are, in kindness, and in the human connections we share. If this story touched your heart, please consider sharing it to spread a little light in the world. And remember, true power is found in kindness, not control. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next journey into the world of myth and magic. Until next time.